Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my latest design team project for AngeldreamcraftsKim on Etsy. Again, if you are new to Kim's store or my channel, Kim does sell beautiful laces and trims, embellishments, bling, doilies, appliques, paper, and flowers in her store, just to name some of the things. And if you open up the description box, I do have all the links that you could possibly need listed below. Links to her store, links to her personal YouTube page. I have her Facebook group listed, her Instagram group listed. I also have links for the other ladies who are participating in her design team, so if you're curious to see what they've been creating, I do enjoy watching their videos every month because they sometimes have some great ideas that I like to steal from every once in a while. I also have links for some of my past design team projects also for Kim's shop in my description box. And this last time around in my design team package from Kim, I did receive a couple of boho trims. I also received some embellishments that I thought would be perfect for a boho style project. And I decided to get my feet wet and create something in a boho style. I admit I'm a little intimidated when it comes to the whole boho style. I've been wanting to create a journal, both a fabric one and a paper one, in the boho style, but again, I've been a little intimidated, so I decided to start off with maybe a little bit smaller project just to kind of get my feet wet, and this was perfect. I did decide to create some oversized paper clips, embellished paper clips, and each of these also has pockets on them. And inside of the pockets, I included a little tiny journal in them, which is really fun. And you could also choose to add a journal card or something inside of it instead of the little journal, but I just decided to be fun to make a little matching journal inside of each one of these. And so I'm going to go through each one and kind of show you some of the details and some of the fun trims that are in Kim's shop. Again, she does sell some different boho style trim. She does have a grab bag, which is really fun. She also has like a remnants bag, which is the bits and pieces, the remnants left over from like some of the vintage saris that she's cut up. And so I did use some of the remnant grab bag. I also used like her trim, her boho trim bag, which you get, I think, like 25 pieces in there of different items. And I also used a number of embellishments that came from her store, and also some other trims that I dyed. And so here again is the first one that I created, and if you look on it, I do have a little gourd pin or bulb pin, and Kim is selling these in her shop, and I looked right before I started recording. She does have a couple of different colors of these little pins in her shop. And then the other fun thing that she sells in her shop is she does have a ton of different charms, and this is one of them that she does have in her shop with the little wings on it, and I thought that was perfect for a boho themed project. Then she also has these really cool little pearl beads, and they are white or kind of an off-white color, and I went ahead and decided to try and dye it. And so I used alcohol inks on it because alcohol inks do work on plastic. And so I did dye it this teal color to kind of match the boho theme, and I added a couple other little small pearls to, or not pearls, but little beads to the little gourd pin just to kind of carry out some of the colors in my project. And again, if you look at the fronts and the backs, both sides are really pretty. You can kind of see I used some of the remnants from her remnant bag, her like boho sari remnants bag. These are all pieces. This is one of the trims that she sent to my design team package, so I did add that one there. And I did use this on some of the other paper clips that I created. This little backside of this trim also is a white dangle trim from her store, and I dyed it. It's a little bit darker on the front side. I did dye it this color, and then I think on one of the other ones I dyed it a teal color. And then on the front of each one of them, I did arrange a digital image, and on top of it, I had some different fibers in my stash that I just sewed around the frame just to add a little texture to it. So this one has a kind of a dark teal fibers to it. And then all these little pieces that you see around here are off of her trims, or else off of the boho trim snippet bag that she has. And I just cut them up and just arranged them around the different photos. And then also this one was part of that grab bag right here, this one right here. And on that one, I just went ahead and just kind of cut it up. There was another piece up here and I cut that off. But I did layer it on top, this little gold piece right here that I use kind of as like a bordering trim. That also came off of one of her trims. And then this black fringe trim is from my stash. And so that is kind of the first one. And here is the little journal that I created. Again, on this one, you can't really see it. This was a purple fiber that I sewed around this image. And then these again are little pieces off of some of her trims. And then again, she does sell a remnant sari trim package for, it's pretty cheap in her store. And these were the remnants of the remnants, because again, I use these remnants to create some of the panel pieces on my paper clips. And so normally these might have been pieces I might have thrown in the garbage, but I actually just sewed them on the top of each of these little pages in here, just for some added interest. Also in each of these, I did stamp the word, "Not all who wander are lost." Just, I thought that was appropriate with them being kind of a boho type gypsy theme. And so that is the first one that I completed. Here is the second one that I completed. And again, that's kind of the front. And the back side. And this yellow piece, interestingly enough, this trim right here was part of more of a vintage type trim that when Kim sent it, it came off of a clothing item. And this yellow was behind this pink trim, so I actually pulled it off, and so I used it also as one of my little panel pieces just because I wanted some yellow in my project, so that worked out perfectly. And on the front side again, you can see a couple different pieces. There's more of a teal. This is kind of more of a green teal piece. That again came from the sari trim packages that she has, the grab bags, the snippets, the remnant bags. Again, I added one of those beautiful little feather charms from her store. A couple beads on the gourd pin. And this one came off of a trim and I cut it. So this is just a remnant that I cut off. This was another one off of a different trim. And again, you can see different little remnant pieces that I layered up behind the digital images. And again, I put some different fibers. This is like fun fur or eyelash trim that I put around her that I sewed around. And then if you check out the bottom, Kim does carry this beautiful white flower trim, and it's all these flowers are connected and you can cut them apart. And so I did go ahead and dye them. And these ones I actually dyed these two with alcohol inks because I was dyeing these little beads different colors and I had enough little ink left over on my pad. And I didn't want to waste it, so I dipped the flowers in it, and they turned out really vibrant. So I love how those two turned out, the teal and the purple. Underneath there, I do have a piece of vintage trim that my mom gifted me a long time ago that I've been saving for a boho project. So I added that little piece. This little purple piece is from one of Kim's trims from her store. I created a project a couple months ago with this one, and I still had a piece left, so I added it there. And then again, this teal one that I dyed, again, is from her store. It's white, and she still does this have this one in stock. But again, I did decide to go ahead and dye it. And as far as how I dyed the colors on these is I have like some sprays, like glimmer mist sprays, just some sprays like that I use to color that one. And then the little pink trim is from my stash behind there. So again, one last look at that one. And the inside, there's the front of that one. And again, just the different little pieces that I cut up and kind of layered around the little boho image there. And again, all the remnants of the remnants that I put on the sides. And as tabs and stamped again on the inside of that one. And here is the third one that I created. This one was really fun again. I'll start off this time with just the little image that I used on the journal cover. Again, the same as the last two, so I'm not going to go into any more details other than to just kind of hold it up so you guys can check out the details on her. And on this one, I went ahead and added, one of the packages that Kim sent me had a little tassel, this green tassel on it. So I went ahead and added that to the bulb pin. I added another one of those cute little bird charms. And then I had some boho beads that I made a while ago, so I went ahead and added that. You could easily make these boho beads out of some of the remnant bags that Kim has in her store. That would be an easy way to have a couple different types of material. This one I used fiber on. And then as far as this one goes, you can kind of see the back side of this one, and this is the same as the front. I just carried everything over. This was one of the trims that she included in her gift, or not her gift, but her design team package. And it was connected to this pink one, and then there's also a gold trim with that one, and it looks very similar to this gold trim right there. And so that was the one that I took apart, and so I used just some of the pieces of the pink, and then I also used some of the pieces of that gold trim on different things. So I did take it apart and use it kind of differently. It wasn't one big piece. And on the front of this one, again, this background pink part here is one of her trims. It's this trim right here. And then another little remnant piece that she had was this green, and it had a bigger medallion too, which I'll save, but it had this smaller piece and then that little piece right there. And so I cut it up and kind of made it into its own little design on the bottom, just to I wanted to bring out the green color that I had used on the eyelash trim right here. Again, more remnant pieces that I added. And one of her trims, I did cut out the little medallion piece right here in the middle. And then again here I have one of her really fun feathers that she carries in her store. These are buttons. And what I thought was interesting about these is when I added them to my composition, like this one, when I set it down, all of a sudden all the greens just really popped in that button. But if I would have laid this on something that had more purple in it, then all the purples and pinks kind of jumped out. So it was kind of a fun button to work with because it did bring out the different colors in my project. And then I also looked, she still does have these in her store, which are perfect for a boho project, but she also has some really cute butterfly ones too, which would be perfect too if you'd rather have butterflies. She does have some butterfly wood buttons that are brighter colors that again would be perfect for this type of project. And yeah, I showed you guys this one already, I think. And then the trim at the bottom is just some trim from my stash on that one. And again, there's the back side of that. And then here is the final one that I wanted to share with you guys. And the little journal on this one, I used some kind of a yellowish, goldish color eyelash trim. And again, there's some little remnant pieces from some of the sari trims in our store. And again, the remnants of remnants that I used on the tabs. And of course, I stamped on the first page on that one also. And on this one, I attached another one of those little pearl bead charms that she has in her store. And again, these were white. And this one I dyed purple with alcohol inks. Another one of those fun feather charms. And then I also added another one of those birds, which these guys are super cute. I used some of these birds on a previous project when I had all the purple trims from her store, but I still had these left over. And like I said, they were just perfect for this boho project. And then again on this one, I had another image that I added some fiber around. Another one of the feather buttons. And then more pieces from the trims that I cut apart and just kind of layered around. I stamped the word free spirit and added that. And then at the bottom, I had another piece from her trims. And this one, I went ahead, the gold gem was in the middle of this one, but I did go ahead and add the purple ones because I wanted to bring out some of the purple that was up here. So I did add the purple flatback gems to it. And then the two trims down here, the two dangle trims are from my stash. But you can kind of see this little gold trim just peeking out. Again, that was part of one of these types of trims that I had pulled this off of just to use that. And I also used that little gold piece right here too on the side of that one. So Very versatile trim when you cut it up and use it in bits and pieces. Thanks again, everybody, so much for watching. Don't forget to open up that description box to find all of the links that I talked about earlier in the video. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.